Hopeless people have a history of working miracles. Whether it's the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, the 200 Texans at the Alamo, or what little remains of a dying fan base for one of the greatest games of all time, a people with no victory in sight can sometimes change things in a meaningful way. So what can we do if change is the goal and it is impossible to reach? Firstly, let's talk about the petition that is created yesterday and currently has about 100,000 signatories. Go sign it, obviously. This won't do anything, but it feels better to take some action than to sit on your thumbs. Secondly, we must show Sony that Destiny is a very profitable opportunity for them. If by some miracle we manage to make Destiny 2 active enough during the June 9th update, and for long enough afterwards, and here's the key, it must be long. Probably a month, maybe 2 months of everybody being on is required, and it will slowly trickle off, but we need to show them that there are a lot of us. Some people are saying that you need to spend your money at Eververse, and I'm not inclined to agree. I know it might show them a small bump in profits, but if the bump in profits was not enough during Final Shape, then I don't think it will be enough here. And so I wouldn't waste your money unless you feel like it is somehow productive. But if we can somehow show them that there are enough of us that would keep playing this game if they put in even a little bit of effort, then maybe, just maybe, we can save some of the Destiny 2 team from getting laid off. And that's ultimately the goal. Destiny 3 is not going to happen, okay? This is just a truth. It is never going to make it out the door with Sony refusing to greenlight it in the Final Shape. However, we might be able to save some of the Destiny 2 team, prevent them from getting laid off, and perhaps secure a little bit of extra content for Destiny 2. This is ultimately the goal. So, sign the petition, be on for June 9th, but be on after that as well. I don't care if you just get on and sit in the tower, or get on and sit in orbit, or you hop on and all you do is stare at the main menu screen, but we need to boost the metrics at all. This is the goal for now. If by some miracle Sony acknowledges the petition or the amount of people on, then we need to start spending money on Eververse. Nobody is going to like this. We all hate microtransactions. But if they acknowledge that we are there, and then we show their acknowledgement goodwill by providing them with funding, that is a give and take. That is a transaction. This shows them that we are real and we're willing to invest. But again, nothing is going to happen, okay? The arm of history is long, but it bends towards the nothing ever happens chud, as has been said by others. But we can cope, and so this is the cope that I am putting forth. The singular other thing that I can foresee having any impact at all, though again, nothing is ever going to happen, is social media. If you are on Twitter, keep posting about Destiny, keep posting about your god rolls, keep posting about how much you're going to miss the game for as long as you can find in your heart to do so. If you are on YouTube, keep making videos, keep making retrospectives, keep making lore breakdowns, keep making weapon guides, keep making anything that you can think of. Montages, nostalgia bait, literally anything, keep it going. If you are on Reddit, keep arguing with people like the fucking Redditoid that you are. Any traction that the game keeps in the online space at all is good. Sony has historically responded to fan backlash with Spider-Man in the MCU. I don't expect the same thing to happen here because this is just simply a failed business venture in their eyes. I think that's why they're canning Destiny 2 and they're giving Marathon a little bit of time to see if a fresh IP can turn things around for the studio before canning that as well. They probably just view Bungie as a failed investment, and when you have that much capital to throw around, I suppose you can afford to can $4 billion occasionally. However, we are not Sony. We don't see things as numbers and investments and risks and rewards. We see Destiny as a game, as our home. And so we need to do anything that we can to make the infinitesimally small chance that Sony changes their minds just a little bit bigger. Now, what is actually the goal of all of this coping and effort that is probably just going to be wasted? In my opinion, it's to get any support for Destiny 2 at all. I mentioned before trying to save just a little bit of the Destiny 2 team, and I think that is the goal, but what do we want them to do? Well, how about one yearly expansion like Destiny 1 had? Long content droughts are something that this game has proven it can weather. We wasted 6 months doing nothing, and we still held solid metrics. I think that this proves a yearly DLC would be enough to sustain Destiny 2 for this foreseeable future until, by some miracle, maybe a Destiny 3 gets made eventually. But that is the goal. What we want is one yearly DLC and maybe some small support for the core playlists, and we'll be willing to pay for these things. Perhaps Sony can change the monetization model. They already proved that they're willing to do that by making every DLC into one pack that can be bought. If perhaps they changed it again into a subscription service so that people can get every DLC and every future DLC that comes out, then this could justify Bungie putting money into the core playlists again if they know that the majority of people playing are in fact paying to play those things. But again, this is all coping. Nothing is going to happen, okay? I'm just outlining basically a dream. These are the delusions inside a schizophrenic's head, right? And so the other thing that Bungie could do with very little manpower is spread out the loot. Single perk weapons, strike-specific loot, crucible-specific loot, end-of-match like screen rewards like in Destiny 1, stuff like this that is very high engagement to investment ratio. These are all things that an understaffed studio could potentially add to a Destiny 2 on pseudo maintenance mode. Basically what I'm saying is give us anything. If players have hope, then they will be willing to support you. The hope doesn't have to be real. Neither does the future that is in their head. But if players have hope, then they are willing to engage, they're willing to stick with it. And the reason that I am so adamant about doing anything with Destiny 2 is its uniqueness. If Destiny 2 was Call of Duty 2, if Destiny 2 was X-Defiant, I wouldn't care, because I could just go play whatever competitor is on the market. But Destiny 2 is none of those things. Destiny 2 is a game so unique that it has never been replicated, and its community is so special that I don't think it will ever form in another game again. These are people who have stuck with a franchise for 11 years. Through thick and thin, through the best DLCs a company has ever made for a live service game, and the worst DLCs a company has ever made for a live service game. People playing Destiny 2 are resilient, determined, creative, and special. And I want to give them something. I want them to know that there are people who care enough to be willing to put in the time and the effort to fight for anything at all. If you are a creator that is at all interested in Destiny, you need to be putting your money where your mouth is if you want to see this franchise live. You need to drum up attention. Show your audience that you care. Show us that you care. Show Sony that you care. Ultimately is the goal of this. Keep this special little corner of the internet that we call the Destiny community alive for as long as possible. And maybe, just maybe, it'll pay off in the end. Subscribe. Christ is King. I'm out.